Hello, everyone. Welcome. It is Thursday, August 19th, 2021. And you're listening to this week's Thursday Town Hall from Komodo Platform. The main theme today is marketing ideas. If you haven't checked out the Twitter thread, go take a look. And we're going to be discussing that a little bit later on. We're joined today by Otto and Articush. Delton is here, Jay Charming, PTYX is up here. And of course, if you're live in the audience, thanks for being here. If you're watching it live, that's very good of you. And if you're watching this recorded or listening, again, thanks for being here. Thanks for caring. Thanks for doing your part with this community, Komodo Platform. There's plenty to go through today. We're going to start off with Articush reading the weekly news. So welcome, Articush. And let's start it off.
Come here.
Okay,
Hey,
hello,
guys.
Articush.
Thank you, Giuliano. This is Weekly News with Articush. And first things first, I wanted to celebrate everyone because we have the pirate swaps on AtomicDEX. And there's a tweet by Kadan, CAAA Stadelmann, at PirateChain, at the infamous Kata, hashtag cross-chain atomic swaps are reality. James JL777 Lee baptized the technology, and the swaps are rolling in AtomicDEX very, very soon. Another statement was Komodo CTO Kadan CA333 Stadelmann featured as the lead quote in the Cointelegraph article looking at BTC price momentum. And the quote was, regardless of a legislative outcome, the discussion is putting crypto at the forefront of US policy and generating more public awareness about blockchain technology. Another result is that traditional financial institutions will likely increase accumulation of cryptocurrencies if policy clarifications are formally adopted. That's some big news. Also, this past Tuesday, live panel discussion with Smart5 is available on Komodo YouTube. Watch the replay and check out the timestamps in the video description. We're also sharing some of the clips on Komodo social media channels, including Twitter, so be sure to follow. It's very important. I'm not sure if Otto is fast enough to go through all of them as I speak. I'm going to go to the next one. Community contributor Noah Fields has written a Komodo Academy blog post that explains what DODO is and how project is trying to solve DEX liquidity with its proactive market maker PMM technology that is different from automated market maker AMM technology. DODO token is available on AtomicDEX, so be sure to stay on the lookout for more coin guides similar to this one. One in the other news is Komodo and Smart5 will host a Twitter space this Friday, August 20th at 5 p.m. UTC. So if you would like to ask questions of Smart5, of Aaron, the CEO, you should most definitely join the Smart5 Twitter Spaces on Friday, August 20th at 5 p.m. UTC. Also, a quick reminder, we have the Tokel Ask Me Anything livestream is happening this Saturday, August 21st from 9 to 10 p.m. UTC. 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. UTC. Learn more about the Tokel's NFT platform before the Tokel IDO begins on this August 30th. You can find them at tokel.io/IDO. And also, as always, check out the monthly schedule on the Komodo blog to add upcoming community events to your calendar. We have few more exciting events in the August besides the Twitter Spaces happening tomorrow. We also have the monthly project update live stream happening next Thursday, so have a look out for this one. We have a community shout out. We see Crypto Rich at Crypto Rich YT on Twitter. He's putting some great content. You should look out. He gives a lot of shout outs to us also. Check his content and give us a feedback, give a hashtag. We're all there for it. And of course, the end call to the action. It's if you're watching this, you should most definitely join us or watch the YouTube video about Townhall discussion. Because besides this, there's another video that will continue in a live discussion, also be a YouTube video. So most definitely join that and check that on YouTube. This week we have Komodo marketing ideas, and we're going to go through it just in a second. It's me, Artakush. I'll see you next week, guys.
Brilliant. Thank you, Artakush. Well done. And if you're watching this live, it's just a full live stream all the way through. But if you're watching the pre-recorded versions, you might be watching just the news portion. And like Artakush said, we're moving in towards the town hall discussion, where we're going to talk about Komodo marketing ideas. And this was a Twitter thread put forth on the Komodo platform Twitter. And we have PTYX is up here, Jay Charming is around, Delton is around, Artakush here, Otto is here, and Ami Giuliano. And we're going to have the opportunity now to go through these Komodo marketing ideas and have some back and forth discussion about it. So Otto is going to step up here and say hi. Welcome today, Otto. How are you doing?
Yeah, hi. And I want to give a shout out to VK, our Twitter manager, for putting this together. We got a lot of ideas, and so thank you for everyone submitting the ideas, and yeah, look forward to going over them here right now.
All right, excellent. Earth calling Delton, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. How's it going?
All right, welcome. Great. As we can hear, you are far out in the reaches of interspace, and hope you're doing well over there. And I think Jay Charming is here with us too.
Yeah, hey, how's it going?
Yeah, very well. And then PTYX is also here. PTYX, thanks for joining and always, contributing your time and energy to Komodo platform.
No worries. Happy to be here.
Great. Okay, so Otto, you're looking at the thread?
I am, right? So I think I'm not sure if we see it in the same order or not. For me, the first one is from Regnar. What about you guys?
Shout outs to Regnar, first of all. Always looking for creative ideas and ways to contribute and help out. And I would like to mention that.
Yeah, for sure. There's always good ideas and feedback from Regnar. He's been a long-term contributor and member.
Right on. So what have we got? Go for it.
So Regnar is saying that we could start adding CCs to KMD itself, or make a KMDCC, as I understand, perhaps like a sidechain. That has been an idea that was floating around for some time. He continues to say to lower the barrier of entry to build stuff on KMD and increase the demand. So, and he says, I don't want to launch different chain to create one with no value to store in queue addresses, or to mint the token, or to open channels. Yeah, so he's saying that it would be easier to play around if all the features we have developed would be available in the Komodo KMD blockchain. So this might not be totally evident for everyone, but as a backstory, there's a lot of different modules and technologies that are called CC modules, and they have been kind of up and coming, and not all of them are in the KMD chain, or most of them are not. But if you launch a blockchain, then you are free to add what you need to your chain. So now Regnar is saying, what if we add more of these CCs to the KMD chain itself?
This is also, it's a good question, a good discussion. And I think with the other projects that are using the different CCs that are available, they work it out, and then KMD can possibly implement it. Maybe we can hear a bit from PTYX. He might have a bit more idea about this. But just to even anybody, if we can clarify, the CCs, they have gone through different names. It was crypto conditions, custom consensus, And they're basically like a UTXO version type of smart contracts, something like that. PTWX, do you have any light to shed on that?
Yeah, the crypto conditions are UTXO-based smart contracts, so they create logic for non-EVM blockchains. So blockchains that aren't supported by, or that they don't have something like Solidity or other more complex smart contract languages. You could basically build a crypto condition library catered to blockchains like Litecoin, Bitcoin, Komodo, and other UTXO coins. The only issue with CC is that they are fairly new. So there's not a lot of developers using it. We do have actually two companies that have built on crypto conditions. They're currently working with their own clients, building out a solution for them on crypto conditions. And the company's called Vlepo. They're like a boutique blockchain development company. But again, it's somewhat like in its baby stages. And I think the benefits of it are that you can build these libraries around blockchains that have been around for a long time. So you don't necessarily need to create a new blockchain to actually support those types of smart contracts. The downside of it is that it's very new. So it's not like a Solidity where you have thousands of developers, thousands of contracts, examples that basically people can just fork and use. So we created like a very basic set of contracts, like a lottery contract, dice contract, voting, and a few other contracts, like just examples. And Vlepo now is building their own library on crypto condition. But yeah, so from my side, that's what I know of crypto conditions and where it stands. It has a lot of potential, but it's very, very new. So it's not something that we've been able, for example, like to roll out as easily as like a Solidity type contract, where just basically like any developer can pick up on it.
Okay, thank you, PTWX. I mean, this is very insightful. And Regnar, looking forward to the discussion that continues about this and hearing what everybody else thinks. One thing for sure about Komodo platform, there's a big community of very capable, talented people. So looking forward to the continuance of that one. Hopefully that answers a little bit your question. I know it doesn't directly, you don't actually ask a question, you're offering an advice to start adding them. So we'll see. Let's see how that works. We're just going to go through a few of the other ones. I'm not sure if you're seeing this one, but Saskboy from Saskatchewan would like to see a banner pulled by a plane. And my question is, where would you like it to fly over? What would be some good places? And then if anybody wants a real Komodo dragon, it'll cost you 1,000 KMD. You send it to cloud. Now, I can't endorse this as a real thing, and I'm letting you know, I'm just joking. It's not actual advice. But that was a good one. So Delta and J Charming, you guys jump in at any time if you see one that you want to address, please.
Will do, thanks.
Yeah, Quantany over here has jokes.
So the one you mentioned was about flying like a plane with some sign, like on the sky.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Well, actually, like what we are also like, we are keeping our eyes open for anything, and actually we are gonna have a call next week with a company that provides like PR stunts and this type of things, kind of ideas. I don't really know anything about that subject, so that's why we have to go to kind of understand what they have to offer, and is that something worthwhile considering. I'm guessing that probably not. It's not gonna be worth the money unless it's part of some bigger campaign and it like makes sense. But that
Could be part of the conference.
Yeah, like as part of making a lot of noise about the conference, I mean, then it would make sense. So it's not totally out of the question, but doing something like that requires that it has to be tied in to wider like marketing strategy and campaign, that then the whatever PR stunt we would do would cause something positive to happen, like more awareness about the November conference, for example.
And I think one of the good things just to mention together with you, Otto, is that if you want to do something and you have ideas for that, most definitely join our Hangouts, which are at 2 p.m. UTC on Mondays, together with the marketing team. So you can hear all the conversation that we're sinking in for the last week and also have a discussion afterwards. Besides that, we have one just before the Thursday Townhall at 3:30 p.m. UTC. And if that is not enough, you can have a personal conversation with me and Otto through a Calendly link that I just posted in Townhall chat. So you can see that there. It's just like 2 posts above my last post.
Yeah, I'm gonna pick up the next one that's on the stream, which is from cryptodevil.it, and he's saying Komodo Dragon fighting punks and penguins. Now, I'm not entirely sure if there's more like what was behind the full idea, but to my mind, I immediately thought of the concept art we have been doing with Raymond, who recently joined the team as a concept artist, and a lot of his work is kind of still not public, kind of in the shadows. Only some contributors have been seeing them through the Hangouts they have been joining, and but just yesterday or 2 days ago we had a call with him to brainstorm, and one of the categories is like for the community, and we are looking to do the popular request to bring some sort of dragon imagery, especially to graphics and art directed to the community, so kind of giving the community what they have been asking for. So I think this request kind of notes down to like, hey, why don't you guys use the Komodo dragon or a dragon more and try to leverage that? And yes, the answer is that yes, we are actually looking at that and gonna do some good artwork.
Wow, I'm loving this thread. There's a lot of great ideas. I see the first Komodo crypto shoe. I'm sorry if I'm going out of order. I'm just scrolling through here having fun, but good job, everyone. There's some other decent ideas. One of them was if there's a Russian-speaking members that can have a club with Dmitry Grozov on Clubhouse for Russian-speaking audience. That might be something to consider.
Yeah, Clubhouse is actually just a good one in general. That's kind of been on our radar.
Yeah, so I just want to go. Like, I'm not sure how do we want to do this, but maybe we start off like if someone has something that popped out to you, like who's on this call that you would like to bring up right from the get-go. Otherwise, we could just start going in order.
Yeah, I'll scan ahead some.
All right, and shout outs to Gruel, Satinder, hello, and Randy McRandom is here, and no one. All right, and anybody else who just joined, welcome.
How about the contracts with large companies? Like we've seen a lot of success, like just right off the bat with finally getting to talk about SmartFi, and I know that PTY is always working on new biz dev relationship. How do you think would be a good way to define big in this sense for getting an effect?
It's hard to say.
Oh, I think we lost PTYX there. Yeah. Okay. Well, hopefully he'll get back, and then we can hear what he had to say. Jay Charming, did you have any thought? Oh, there he is. Okay. We can. PTYX, you're back.
Yeah. Sorry about that. Yeah. For me, I think we have to find a balance between something that has longevity and high impact, and sometimes it's hard to find that balance. So it really does depend like what the goal is, and from there then we can start brainstorming. Like, okay, uh, another thing is the budget, right? Like, how much budget do we allocate to it? And then we can actually start pitching ideas of how to create something like that.
That makes sense.
Um,
there a
ultimate-
difference?
Ultimately, we just have to fix the goal. And from the goal, then we can start working our way down, budget-wise, and then strategy to get to that goal.
Do you think there's a benefit to driving partnerships that are maybe less meaningful but more kind of publicly desirable?
Yeah, I think small partnerships do add up. At the end of the day, the partnership has to be meaningful. It has to bring more than just an announcement.
That's a
Many
good point.
projects announce partnerships, but at the end of the day, they don't really bring anything to the table. So we either want grants, we either want volume on the decks, we either want them to implement the AtomicDEX into their app, like something that gives use to our tech. And for example, like right now, we have a few projects that reached out to us to do this, just that. They're very like small projects that are looking to integrate AtomicDEX into their apps. So like things like that, they might not have this huge impact because, or it might not be like huge newsworthy, but at the end of the day, it does bring us a lot of benefit. It does bring us some liquidity, and if another project sees that it can be done, then it possibly brings us more partnerships.
That makes an
amazing
awful lot of sense.
insights. Yeah, Jay Charman, great question. Lots of insights there from PTYX. It's incredible. And actually, there was just one more. I'm sorry if I'm jumping in here. There was one PTYX. I'm just wondering here if this would be of any value, do you think, here, about creating a 30-minute video that covers the history of KMD, where it's now, what it can do, the possibilities of the metaverse. The tech is so advanced, most people don't take the time to learn the power of KMD, but a video can provide all that info in one place. Do you think that that's something, Jaakko, what do you think?
Yeah, I think if we do create something like that, it shouldn't be so wide, or it shouldn't be so broad. When you say metaverse, it can mean so many things, and I think what we need to do is condense really what we do best. And one of the things that we do best is the AtomicDEX. That's like our main flagship. So if we can create a video actually showing projects that they can either integrate into the AtomicDEX network so that they can trade peer-to-peer, they can build out their own solutions with our API. So basically they can integrate the AtomicDEX into their apps, or they can build custom solutions on it, like loans that settle on the AtomicDEX network, things like that. And even that is too broad. Like I would keep it very short and simple. So the AtomicDEX is something we definitely want to highlight. The other thing is possibly chain creations, chain migrations, the peer-to-peer bridge, and blockchain security. So like those four things, and like if we can drive that home into a video where a project looks at it and says, "Hey, oh look, I can either be part of the AtomicDEX network. I can actually build my own app on it. I can migrate to their chain, or I can secure my chain with their recyclable hash rate." Then, I think that would probably be more impactful, I think.
Well, thank you, PTYX. Jay Charming?
Yeah, that's really good. So here's like another suggestion that's in the marketing thread for kind of like doing a +1 on top of that PTY. What do you think about this one? I can't actually quite read the name, but it's the reply is that each altcoin for listing on AtomicDEX must airdrop to KMD holders. So the idea of like, in addition to a cost listing, like there's also the promotion for driving people to AtomicDEX, that because as more coins get listed, part of that, I guess, price for entry or integration is getting.
Yeah, I mean,
drops.
I think the issue with that is that it's very short-lived. Again, we want to find a balance between something that has more longevity. So what I would do, or what we have been doing, is basically require them to have some sort of liquidity on the DEX for a certain amount of time, or even like a minimum volume on the DEX. I think that's more impactful to the entire network. It benefits us because if there's volume on the DEX and there's transactions, then we're making fees from the network, and then that funnels back to the KMD holders. Maybe not so directly as an airdrop, but again, the airdrops are just so short-lived. It doesn't really even benefit the holder that much, because what if the coin doesn't appreciate? What if people get the airdrop and they dump it for the project that actually is airdropping it, so it doesn't benefit them at all? So yeah, I think more of a requirement to have a certain amount of liquidity or a certain amount of volume locked into the DEX. And this will become easier as the liquidity tools are rolled out, which are right now in the works. But yeah, I think that's probably the better approach.
It's very cool.
Okay.
Thanks for the great response on that.
Yeah, and Otto, what do you have to say here?
Yeah, I'm gonna just follow up with another comment from the thread, and this one is actually, I think Articus is the best one to answer this, but this is from Corellian Industries, and he says, a design channel on Discord where people can submit Komodo mascot and other designs for the Komodo platform. This can be extended to competitors, NFTs, infographics, merchandise, etc. And then Daybreak replies that it already exists on as a writer's room on Komodo Discord. But perhaps Articus, do you want to jump in here and provide more context for this answer?
I think that we have a very deep and great discussion about the Komodo mascot. That's like very perplexed idea of having several things or one thing that everybody wanted. And with our now kind of the design change and also the way that we're going, I think we should look into something that is very unique and kind of representable at this point of time. And for the mascot, I mean, I cannot tell it more than I can tell enough. You should most definitely join our community hangouts, 2 p.m. UTC on Mondays, 3:30 p.m. UTC on Thursdays, and have a chat with us. And all the ideas are welcome. If you want to have a one-on-one conversation, you can check the link on Townhall chat. Most definitely, we should post the link to the reply. And yeah, just have a chat with us, because we are always looking for interesting people, ambitious people who are trying to harvest their own skills and educate themselves and empower themselves in the blockchain sphere and metaverse and on its own. There's only one way to do it, is to contact one of us. So do it.
Yeah, exactly. And also there's been, in our Hangouts, we had had some discussion that there should be like a folder with the base graphics and assets available. So that's also something we are looking to make available for the community, that it's easier to start making graphics, memes, or anything else if those that want to do so. So we are trying to provide the means for that. And indeed, there's the Writers Room channel that is possible to join. So the way to join that is basically join our Hangouts, and from there you can find out more info about this group. And then another thing we've been looking for is kind of provide the platform for the community to collaborate and share ideas and graphics and anything. To do that, like we are testing a Mastodon instance. Like we don't know for sure if this is the right tool, but we are looking for a tool that would allow this. And of course, if anyone out there has a good idea on what that tool could be, that would be very easy to get started, easy to join, and would kind of bring benefit and that those assets and tools for the members here. And then yeah, please let us know.
Excellent. All right. Otto, I'm going to read one more. Is that okay?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, because this one is relating to Korea and Korea exchanges. There's been some talk or questions about it, and since PTYX you're here, and any of you other J Charming, Delta, and Articush, Otto, if you guys have any ideas as well. But it says here that I can't read the name, but the most effective marketing method, in my opinion, is listing on the Korea exchange. Unfortunately, Komodo has disappeared from Upbit. But if we list it on a popular Korean exchange such as Bithumb or Coin1, it will naturally become known. And then he talks about the next reply is about trading volume ranking of Korea exchange is quite high. High trading volume directly related to popularity. He thinks opportunity, or she thinks opportunity to promote Komodo more. You guys have thoughts on this? PTYX, did you have anything, or were you related at all to the work on getting KMD on KuCoin?
Sorry, could you repeat the question?
It's basically about Korea exchanges, wondering can we get a Korea exchange such as Bithumb or Coin1, and reasons why.
Yeah, we're actually working on this. There's a few things like kinks that we need to work out with them. Some are legal, like their onboarding process, and then the others are technicals. KuCoin was something that was already in process, and it was listed first. But we are working on a Korean exchange, as we had mentioned before. But I mean, once it's basically like once we have a set date and like a path forward, we'll announce it more clearly.
Thank you for addressing that.
Sure.
All right. Well, unless does anybody see anything else? I'm watching a Komodo dragon just chomp on something here, but and it's relating to Tokel platform. So Komodo punks on Tokel platform. So anyway, yeah. Do you guys see anything else you want to address?
Yeah, there's one more at least. Here I'm showing to the stream. There's someone made a neat animation, and the tweet says this is from Francois Andre Ltd CO, and he says, "How's this for a marketing idea?" And then there's an idea. There's an animation with the Komodo logo on like a shoe, and so forth. So I'm gonna kind of throw this to JC here, and perhaps you can tell everyone about the merch store we have been preparing to get launched.
I want those shoes.
Yeah, I've been in an exploration for a little while for a good way to set up a Komodo merch store, and then how we can get some merchandise and what the kind of process and steps would be with that. And one of the big ingredients for success, like post getting the merch store set up and being sure to get some integration for spending KMD there, which will be a possibility for people to do whenever the merch store goes live, is that when there's a community contribution, or if somebody has a good idea of something they'd like to make or have put up, that there will be a space there that then those people could act as basically drop shippers, like through the Komodo merch store, to like promote Komodo merch and sales that are related to payment through KMD coin.
Fantastic. That all sounds very exciting, and
Yeah.
I definitely also thank you for to Francois Andre Limited Co.
I
for
want
that,
those shoes.
Inspiration. Yeah, I can hear it in your voice. So you've inspired Articush. He's going to be drawing AtomicDEX symbols on his shoes until he can get the real ones. Okay.
Yeah, I figured that there's going to be a lot of really cool submissions coming from the writers' room, which Articush heads up. And another thing with this too is that the Komodo merch store, besides kind of being one of those low-hanging fruits for a lot of projects, since there are a lot of merch stores out there, is that we're hoping it's going to sync really well with the Miami conference and entire Blockren distributed conference, so that after people like start to get this idea of what Komodo is and like how to interact with it and everything else, that they'll be able to find some things to help like co-promote Komodo, like even partners will, hopefully.
And I do see this a reply tweet from Francois Andre Limited Co. That you can win a pair. So I do see a QR code. So anybody just,
I want
be
those
careful.
shoes.
But yeah, check it out, see what that's about if you're interested, and make your own decisions. All right, cool. Otto.
Yeah, we could let's see. There's at least one more I want to address. This is from Peter Kim. He's saying that why nobody like mentions Komodo and like telling us to pay money, post news, spread the word, and that Twitter and website aren't everything. So I think whoever wants to jump in here and address this concern, I will just start off by saying that there's like two things that as a master marketing team we have to focus on. The first one is just the fundamentals. Like we just need to keep doing and talking about what Komodo is doing on a website, on media, and establish and fine-tune these processes of sharing the news and the information. So this is about like maintaining our position and so forth. So I think this year we have been doing a lot to improve on this front and try to find how do we do this efficiently and how do we scale up this effort. And I think we have had a lot of success so far, but alone like he's saying, he's right, like it's alone, like it's not gonna bring like exponential returns. So what can we do to bring greater returns for the marketing? And then that's of course is the other side of the marketing. Then like what do you do to really like build leverage so you get like 10x return? And I'm not talking about the price, but just like in anything, like in terms of followers, in terms of likes and audience size, like newsletter size, and sure, of course, like the KMD price is also there. Like it's something we can measure as well to the success of the marketing and the project. And so, but then the latter part is a lot harder to answer and find. I think we might be on the right path overall as the Komodo project. Like the business team has been explaining a lot about the upcoming KMD use cases. So for sure, this is a big factor that without like even no matter what the marketing does, it's kind of like it's for the price wise, it's kind of a prop, like that's basic need. It's like a fundamental part to drive the price, which is what a lot of people here want to happen. But then there are other things like in marketing that we do, and we are trying to find like what is it that we could be doing, and it cannot be. There's like no trick that you could like snap your fingers or pay a lot of money and all of a sudden like everything changes. Like you can try to do that, but then you're just wasting a lot of money, and we don't have that type of budget that we could be just throwing out money and getting like people to talk about Komodo. Like we cannot just pay the world to talk about Komodo.
I think it's not even that.
But let me finish. So I think that there are a few things that we'll be discussing that, and a lot of these ideas are like long term that takes months or even a year to kind of implement, and we have to be carefully choose what we want to do because we're going to do everything. So it's about strategy and picking the thing that is like cost effective, because strategy is about surviving with limited resources to get good returns with limited resources. So we have limited resources. Where do we put the focus on to get good returns? And there are things like AtomicDEX marketing and downloads is one of the big objectives. So we have been looking into referral program for AtomicDEX. However, it's not just like we could just launch it because it requires not just marketing resources, but it also requires dev resources. And it's not that simple to just launch something like that. But that has been identified as one of the strategies that is used multiple times through different companies outside of blockchain as well to really grow the user base. So these are the things that we are looking for. And then another example I will mention is the conference we are launching. So we are spending a lot of time. Yeah, already spent a lot of time, and we're gonna spend a lot of time organizing this conference in November. But it's not gonna be a one-off conference. Like, we are trying to build up something here that is repeatable, and this helps us to achieve goals that has been set for the marketing team and what we think we should be doing, which is collaborate more with projects. And through the organize the conference, we are in a good position to do that. And two, we are able to reach a new audience and grow our audience. And if you are successful, then, like I said, we can repeat this next year and grow from there. So it's like this is giving us a marketing tool or something like that to get the type of higher return. So we are looking and thinking of what those things could be, but it's not as easy as people might believe. And we are totally open for any ideas or insights. Like anytime, like let us know, and we will for sure take a look and consider. But yeah, I'm gonna open it up to anyone else to follow up on what I said or provide more context for the concern that is, and it's a common concern, so I wanted to spend some time on talking about it.
Very nice. I think that was very well said. Like, that was, yeah. I big support for everything that Otto just shared. If anybody's listening for something more, like, to go back, listen to what Otto said again. Like, that's agreed.
All right. Well, I think that this is such an informative discussion, and we're just, everybody who is getting a chance to hear this, I hope it's helping you put together a bigger picture of what's happening and how things work together. Maybe one last one. There's a point from Ghetto Roy about fiat on the AtomicDEX. And again, this PTYX is here, and you have such a lot of working knowledge of how things actually have to go into. What are the roadblocks or what are difficulties in just simply getting fiat on AtomicDEX? A bit to that.
The only roadblocks that we face now would be development constraint. We have been in talks with 2 different companies that would allow us to basically integrate a fiat, almost like a banking option into AtomicDEX. So basically, IBAN accounts, deposits, withdrawals, debit card. But there's so many things on the plate from now almost until the end of the year that it's something that we really do have to fit into the schedule. I don't think anything legally is a hurdle. We have that worked out, so it's just a matter of putting it into the workload. And other things do take priority, which are mainly liquidity tools, market maker updates, integration of different ecosystems that we've been working on for a time. So I would say that it's coming, it's on the list, but it's not at the highest priority as of right now. What we need to do is boost liquidity through the improvement of the AtomicDEX core and through the rollout of liquidity tools. Once we have that ready, I think then the dev team will feel comfortable saying, okay, now we can focus on third-party integrations.
Yeah, also what's nice about the liquidity tools that I'm super excited about from marketing side is that if you have more tools for market making, and it becomes easier and easier to become a market maker, then what we could do is to set up like a market making community and really encourage people to have their nodes and create liquidity. And I just think that's like an excellent way for anyone to learn a lot, and at the same time like have some fun and perhaps even make a little money from the spread. And so I think I'm really looking forward to the new liquidity solutions that P2X is talking about.
Right on. And of course, none of this is financial advice, but it makes sense. And I do think that over the next few years, we're going to see how the whole exchange landscape evolves from centralized exchanges, decentralized exchanges, attempted regulations and other things coming together. It's going to be an interesting time. And you know what? I'm so happy for Komodo platform. Everybody is working so hard, and it's not so easy to snap fingers and get things done. But at the end of the day, Komodo platform has realness to bring, actual problem solving tools and technologies. And so, this has been an incredible discussion. Otto, do you have any others that you want to highlight, or did anybody else want to add any points?
I'd really like to re-highlight what Otto shared about the marketing department and like this idea of like the snapping fingers and stuff like that, because as far as I can tell, in the history of Komodo, although there have been marketing efforts, I cannot say that there has been a fully fledged marketing department that has been budgeted and funded and has been given the tools, or at least access to some of the tools, to really go after the crypto space in the same way that its competitors might have access to tools or might be being prioritized as having access to tools and budget. And a huge part of that is like that since Komodo's been around since 2016, but maybe this is the first year that there's been a real dedicated marketing department, like it's still in its first year. So from a public facing point of view, like we're almost kind of like in the first year of this kind of like marketing and communications development. The first year of anything is always a really critical and tough time. The people that are doing the work and putting in the effort are spending just as much time spinning up processes and building the team and figuring out just how to actually do things together as a unit in a really synchronized fashion as they are trying to complete the goals, as they are trying to spend time to complete the goals of like getting the information out. And it's always the most effort-induced time with the least amount of reward and always under the most scrutiny. So I would say that that just this reminder of like, and I guess thanks to the community and everybody else that's out there and listening right now, and like the growing audience that we have of people that are even coming back from other years to say like, oh wow, something's going on. Like a big thank you and a reminder out there that like this is kind of just the beginning for all of this going on, and it's pretty phenomenal.
Yeah,
Right
well
on.
said.
Well, I mean, this has been quite a thorough discussion. I don't know if there's anything else to add. Delton, Articush going to share with us another call to action, but maybe Otto, Delton, Jay Charming, you guys want to say any final word there? But PTYX, huge effort today for this Thursday town hall. Bless his heart. He came on here. He gave us so much good information and ideas. And so we thank him for that. He's off the stage now, which means it seems like we are coming to an end for this Thursday town hall. But any of you guys here want to jump in before Articush throws his weight around, and then we're going to sign off for this week.
PTYX left because of JC. I'm just throwing out there. Now, I just wanted to remind everyone that any of your ideas are valuable, and any of your skills are more than welcome to educate yourself and empower yourself together with us throughout the community hangouts at 2 p.m. UTC on Mondays, and also 3:30 p.m. UTC, just a half an hour before the Thursday town hall, where I'll give the weekly update news, and then we're going to go into discussion about everything what happened last week. So don't be discouraged to just message us, ask the questions, give us the feedback. Everything is valuable. Every thought is valuable. I just wanted to say thank you for everyone for joining today. And thank you, Giuliano, for emceeing, Otto, Delton, Jay Charming, PTYX. We have all bunch of kind of people here, all the community contributors and upcoming community members and upcoming community contributors. Thank you all for joining us today. Giuliano, take it off with the finish line.
All right,
Yeah,
and
that-
I stick my nose forward. Yeah, go for it, Otto.
Yeah, nothing from my side either. So thanks a lot for everyone for joining, and thanks for all the ideas, and keep them coming. And like Article said, like join the Hangouts. That's where we are every week.
There you go. This is Komodo platform where it's just a lot of people doing a lot of things. When I say a lot, it might not be the same numbers as in other communities, the example Ethereum or whatever, but it's a lot, very highly skilled, dense population of people working their butts off to actually get things done and build things for the future, usable, valuable tools, products, services, and the community as well, just contributing in whatever way possible. For example, just this Twitter thread itself brings so much light onto Komodo platform through the discussion. So thank you all for contributing and taking the time to make your tweet.
Are you in the rain?
Are you talking to me?
Yeah, are you in the rain walking home?
Oh no, I'm in the breeze. But that's another story. So yes, I just wanted to shout out to everybody who participates in one way or another, because as we heard, people come back and they say, "Oh wow, things are getting done." Well, yes, so that's beautiful. Everybody does a little part of their own, or a big part, whatever that may be, and it's getting done. And things are happening, and so feel confident that you're here, you're listening, you're participating in any way that you can or that you want to, and. Well, that's going to close it out for this week's Thursday Town Hall. Delton, Jay Charming, Articush, and Otto, and of course PTYX, Giuliano. And we're going to say bye for now. Until next time.